good evening, all the wonderful listeners around the world. You have tuned into KVRX 91.7 FM. It's Monday and 6 p.m. and you are listening to your favorite show, Nostalgic with Sadiq. And I am your most lovable, cute and admirable host, DJ Sadiq. Well, Nostalgic with Sadiq is slowly becoming an extremely popular show all around the world, and I'm getting calls from producers, directors and celebrities to call them on my show. They think that it's a great show, but actually you guys are the real people who have made it so successful. Ladies and gentlemen, Nostalgic with Sadiq is a celebration of nostalgia. And this is a show where we recollect all the wonderful memories of our past. It's a tribute to the golden days of our childhood. And to pay tribute to those wonderful days of our childhood, we have our wonderful couple in my show tonight. Well, they are not celebrities in the true sense, but when it comes to celebrating life, they do it better than anybody else. Well, she is an active volunteer for the Alliance for Lupus research and holds a very important position of being the graduate coordinator in the Asian Studies department in the University of Texas. And he is an admin in the School of Biological Sciences at University of Texas and deeply dedicated to various social causes of the society. They are both young, full of life, lovable and perfectly made for each other. Ladies and gentlemen, my guests of honor tonight are Jennifer Tipton and Stephen Franklin. Jennifer and Steve, welcome to my show. It's my great pleasure to have you on my show, and this is a little token of welcome for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you like it?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Okay, Jennifer and Steve, you guys have been together for more than 10 years.
That's right.
And how has the journey been so far?
Oh, it's wonderful. It seems to get better every year, actually.
Yeah, is it like old wine?
Yes.
Alright, so I just hope that each and every year your relationships gets better and it tastes like wine and it tastes beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, but today we are not going to talk about our present life, we are going to go back. There's a flashback, okay? We're going to go a few years back and see how life was then. Okay, Jennifer, you had the most wonderful childhood a girl can ever think of, but not so beautiful for the boys in your class.
That's true.
You have been famous for beating up boys, as I heard it, and even your mother feels very proud of it. Okay of it. So, how was it being a tomboy?
Well, I loved being a tomboy, and I enjoyed fighting with the boys, and I don't think they quite expected me to win, but I usually did. Okay.
Can you give us some tips about the upcoming tomboys who want to beat the boys? What are the things that you used to do?
Well, one thing, my mom loves this story. One thing I did was, there were some boys at school who used to bully my sister. Oh, yeah. And she was out sick one day, so they thought they'd bully me in her place. And I was a few years younger, so I guess they thought it'd be real easy. And I had this giant tote bag I would carry around all my books in, and I grabbed it and I swung it at them and I hit the boys with it.
Oh my god.
And they never bothered me again.
Okay, they had a lesson?
Oh, they had a lesson, yes.
Very good lesson.
And I also had fingernails at a young age, and I would scratch the boys.
Oh god. That's great, that's a very good move. What amazes me most is that you played some amazing games, which really scares me. When I visualize you as a child playing these games, it really scares me because you used to jump off mid-air, play monkey bars and hide and seek and millions of self-invented games. Tell us something about that.
Well, my favorite game that we would play when it was raining was called Blind Man's Bluff.
Okay.
I know it's not a very politically correct name, but it was the 80s, so it was
okay.
It was okay back then. So what you do is turn out the lights and everybody hides, and one person, they have to go find everyone, but they've got to keep their eyes closed.
Okay.
So that person was always running into stuff and having trouble
falling down, tripping and falling.
Yes.
And that was the fun.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's so strange. It's so amazing to see people fall. You really can't stop laughing.
It's true.
Yeah. Now coming to you, Steve, you had a completely different childhood, and you were calm and quiet, and you confess being a geek. And how, but yet your childhood was very interesting. Can you tell us something about your childhood?
It was fun. I grew up, even though I grew up in the middle of a city, there was a lot of nature around me, so I just ran around, and my brother and I would catch snakes and and we'd catch crawdads and freshwater shrimp, frogs. We'd keep them for a week and put them back. And,
As a child, you were not scared of snakes?
I don't know.
I mean, they could be poisonous and stuff like that.
Yeah, I probably should have been more scared than I was, but I wasn't. I knew enough to avoid the ones that rattled, so that was always good.
Yeah, there lies the game. I mean, there lies the fun. I mean, if you know that you're going to be scared, then the fun goes away. So, it's good that you did not know that they could be scary. Okay. And now, most important thing that I want you to tell our listeners is that horse episode, episode of
yeah, this is a story. I actually do not remember doing this because it was before I can remember. But we lived in San Antonio. We lived up on a big hill.
Okay.
My mom loves to tell the story. And I had a rocky horse that was on springs and a wire frame you'd bounce on.
Okay.
And I hooked our dog up to it.
Oh my God.
To pull it like a sleigh.
Okay.
And before I could get on, the dog took off with the sled behind him in tow, down the hill, down the pavement, bouncing, crashing.
Oh God.
By the time it got down to the bottom, it was in pieces, and luckily I wasn't on it because I would have probably been in pieces.
Oh my God. That's a clean set. So yeah.
That was the sort of thing apparently I was up to a lot when I was a kid.
Okay. All right, that's wonderful. So how was your relationship with your brother? You said you had a brother.
Yes. Let's say he picked on me a lot. I mean, good-natured ribbing, but things like lock me in my room, tie the door shut, hold me down, tickle me until I couldn't breathe, and I'd almost pass out. Things like that. He was about 6 years older than me, so I don't think he was letting me hang around as much.
Okay.
We get along much better now that we've gotten older.
So did you have sibling rivalry then?
No, not really. I think we were so far apart that it's just completely different. Because
in those days, I mean, when you were young, did you have sibling rivalry? Or was it full of love, so much love that you ended up fighting?
I think it was just more. I think he thought of me as a kind of annoyance, or sometimes a fun plaything to torment.
That was fun though. Childhood is always fun. Now, Jennifer, you were very lucky because your father had a transferable job, and he kept moving from one place to other. And though you were born in Louisiana, you pretty much grew up in Dallas.
Right.
And how was your teenage in school when you were in Dallas?
It was okay. Dallas wasn't really for me.
Okay.
My sister came to Austin to go to UT, and that's when I fell in love with Austin and liked it much better.
Okay. So, I mean, how was the school life as a teenager?
As a teenager?
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was okay.
So did you do your homeworks in time and submit? Did you get A's in everything or something?
I did make A's, but I wasn't very good about doing my homework in time.
Yeah, that's very important that you should not do homeworks in time. Otherwise, you have nothing to say in Nostalgic with Sadiq. If you did all your homeworks in time, if you were a very good girl, if you're a very good boy, then you have very less things to say. I'm very happy that you did not do your homeworks in time.
I generally did it right before class started.
And I can imagine how tense the situation used to be. The teacher is about to come and you need to scribble everything and submit somehow.
And I think my teachers knew I did that because some of them didn't like me so much. One of them put me in the front of the room because I talked too much.
Okay.
And then it turns out that the guy she put next to me, who was also put in the front of the room because he talked too much, we became very good friends and talked all throughout class.
Okay. So, and how, what is the age difference between Melanie and you?
It's about 2.5 years.
So were you very close to her?
We were really, really close when we were growing up. It was the same thing where she found me really annoying.
Okay.
But we were close in high school and in college.
Yeah. So was that sisterly bonding there very much? You used to share secrets and all?
Definitely. In high school, she was my best friend.
Yeah. It's very great to have a best friend in your house,
It is.
That makes things so easy for everyone. Alright. Steve, you were born in Houston and you went to the Jersey Village High School. How was growing up in the outskirts of city?
It was pretty good. I mean, in a way, it was sort of like a small town because we just stayed in that area. And, just a few little shops there and such. We never really went downtown because, well, I don't know. It just never occurred to us, I guess. It's too far away.
Okay, well, now when you go back to the city, is the city all the same or has it changed?
Oh, God, no. It's everything, all the nature and stuff that I remember has been replaced with, warehouses and concrete and a beltway, and so it's just kind of grown up. It's become much bigger and more city-like.
Yeah, so, much more industrialized, much more.
Oh yeah.
So does it like, do you feel bad about that? Do you feel sad a little?
A little bit, yeah. It doesn't make it as enjoyable to go home. It's kind of slightly depressing, actually.
And is your house still there, the old house where you stayed in? And
yeah.
I heard that you stayed in the same house almost all throughout your childhood.
Yeah, we moved there when I was about 5. And my parents still live in the same house.
And the one interesting thing I came to know about you is that you had lots of fun, firing firecrackers. That was one, you had great fun playing with firecrackers because there was no prohibition on that part of the city. Right,
we lived outside the city limits, so it was legal for us to have fireworks. So we'd buy them whenever we could. They always sold them around July 4th and New Year's, and we'd stockpile them and we'd shoot them off. We'd put them in, our neighbor used to be a hunter and he had left bullet shells around. We'd stick firecrackers in that, sit on the ground and light it and shoot off like a little rocket.
Alright. Yeah, now you said that you used to buy firecrackers. One interesting question that I want to ask you is that, did you get a pocket money, a lot of pocket money?
I don't really remember. I don't remember where I got the money. I think we usually just asked our parents for the money to go buy.
So no particular pocket money for you, $15 a month or something like that?
I think I might have gotten an allowance, yes. Okay. I honestly don't remember how much it was.
Okay. So what about you, Jennifer?
Originally, my allowance was $2 a week.
Oh wow! That was? I'm sure it was not much.
Oh, it wasn't. And so when Melanie and I were in high school, we basically asked for a cost of living increase, so we could go see movies and things like that. And so my parents raised it to $10 a week for each of us.
That was a huge jump, 2 to 10.
Yes, because you could actually go see a movie with it.
But Jennifer, what is the real excitement about childhood? Is that even if you were given $200, it would have been less.
It's never enough when you're a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Because your wants are, endless. Now, as I see, you must have had a wonderful family back home. Tell us something about your family and growing up.
Well, I grew up with my mom and my dad. They never divorced. They stayed married, which I think for our generation was pretty unusual.
Yes.
And they were very happily married for 33 years. And I have my older sister, and we moved a lot because Daddy owned restaurants. And he would just go and open these southern cooking restaurants.
Restaurants, wow.
Yeah, he made a lot of different kinds of fried food, chicken fried steak, fried chicken, pork chops, all that. And so yeah, we had to be really close as a family since we were always on the move.
And also tell us something about the role that your family and your friends and your sisters played in your growing up.
The role? Well, they were both a source of comfort, and I rebelled against my parents quite a bit in high school.
Yeah, that we all do.
Yes.
There is a revolutionary character inside us who always wants to revolt, and they don't understand us. We are right, they're wrong.
Of course. And that's one of those funny things about growing up is you realize once you get to be about 25 or 30 that your parents weren't as bad as you thought they were, and that they were actually really smart and raised you the best they could.
So that was very important phase of your life, when you were growing up.
Yeah, my dad died when I was 18, so my mom and I became very close at that point, and that's when I started to realize what a good family I had.
Yes, it's very important to have a very good family and be raised in the right way. Well, now Steve, one thing I really like about your life, and I wish I had it in my life, it's that you worked in a discount theater. And I am a huge movie buff, and I'm sure you must have watched a lot of movies that time.
Well, of course, at the time, I think I was working in the summers. I'd work 60 hours, so I didn't have much time then, but I'd catch a few minutes here and there. But yeah, during the school year, I'd go because we get them for free. Yeah. Even though it was discount, it was only $1. It didn't matter that much.
But $1 was a lot that time.
Well, yeah.
So how was it working in a discount theater?
I loved it. It was probably one of the greatest, jobs you could have as a, high school kid. Was
it fashionable to work in a discount theater? Did you boast okay, I work in a discount theater,
I don't know, to be honest. Never really thought of it. I was never the fashion conscious type because I was never that good at it.
Okay. Now tell us, what were the movies that you were watching that time? What were the movies that inspired you at that point of time?
I don't know. the ones that stick out, like the Batman series that started, that was about the right time. One that sticks out that I always heard the song when I was doing the projection was Joe versus the Volcano, because there was this 16 tons song at the very beginning of it that I could always hear.
Is that the like Kiss from a Rose, the movie that you're talking about?
The Batman.
Batman,
yes.
yeah. Batman Forever.
No, this was the original Batman.
Okay.
The very first one.
Okay.
It was 89,
Okay,
88, 89.
And you saw that at Hog Auditorium, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Tell us something about this Batman movie and what happened inside the theater. Tell us something.
Well, I saw it here again at Hog Auditorium. This is back when they showed a lot of first and second run movies. And Hog Auditorium, if you don't know, has bats in it. And so in the middle of the movie, it's really dark scene. There's a cave. It's quiet. It's somber. It's very tense, and all of a sudden, a real bat starts flying across the screen. Everyone just erupts and cheering. It was just, you couldn't have made it more perfect.
Exactly, like one special effect, one of those special effects. Okay, Jennifer, now tell us something about, we were discussing yesterday about fashion, like how we had to wear the clothes of our, cousins, and how you used to be like a decade behind the fashion scenario. Like, tell us something about that. I mean, how was the fashion of your times?
Well, I was born in the 70s, and my older cousins, the youngest one's 10 years older than me. So I was the last in line out of 4 girls to get the clothes. So all the clothes I had were really, crazy 70s clothes. So like I had these really awful polyester turquoise blue culottes that were just so unbelievably awful and itchy. And I thought it was great at first because all the clothes were really soft. They had been broken in by 3 people before me. And then
Alright. So, we are talking with Jennifer and Steven about their wonderful days of their childhood. And ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Nostalgic with Sadiq. Please stay tuned and stay nostalgic. We'll be back in a very short time. Ladies and gentlemen, Nostalgic with Sadiq. Stay tuned and stay nostalgic as we talk to Jennifer and Steven about a wonderful childhood. Well, both Jennifer and Steven, you had one thing in common. Both of you attended the University of Texas, and how did you meet actually?
Well, my freshman year, I think it was Steve's junior year, we both lived at Taos Co-op, and Steve was the food buyer, so he had the keys to the kitchen, and I'm always hungry, so I would wake him up in the middle of the night to open up the kitchen for me.
So that is how you generally met, right?
Yes.
Well, Steven, tell us something why did you come to UT? Were you sure about what you wanted to do?
Not at all. I did not, at the time I was interested in robotics. I got a small scholarship for engineering, and the only place I applied was UT, so I just came here. It's just kind of a default.
But did things happen? Did things flow properly after that? After you came to University of Texas?
Yeah, not really. I ended up not liking that, and I changed to computer science and biology, and I ended up having to work a couple of jobs while I was doing it, so my grades were not the best at the beginning.
But ever since you met Jennifer, things were perfect.
Oh, definitely. Things definitely.
Well, Jennifer, Jennifer, tell us something about the job that you did in Washington, and it was, I remember you telling me about it, that it was on the 17th floor, and you had a wonderful view from there.
Oh, it was a great job. It was working for an artist representative.
Okay.
And we were on the 17th floor in downtown Seattle, and we had this amazing view of the Cascades on one side and the Olympics on the other side, and we could see Puget Sound and Lake Union. And I don't know if you've ever been to Seattle, but on summer days it's gorgeous.
Okay.
And you can see all the beautiful snow-capped mountains everywhere.
So that was a wonderful experience working there.
It was.
Okay. But what I'm more interested to know, and what I think all our listeners should know, is that tell us about the 28-hour bus ride that you had with.
Well, so Steve and I met my freshman year, and we were just kind of acquaintances for the years after that. But then 5 years later, we were both going to attend a student housing cooperative conference up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And all the students in Austin who were going got this big bus, and it was a 28-hour bus ride, and Steve and I sat next to each other.
Okay.
and we talked the whole time. You really
28 hours.
Each way.
Oh, God. So that was like knowing each other completely, man.
Oh, yes. You really get to know someone when you sit next to them for 28 hours in a row.
That's wonderful. But as I see, like, both Jennifer and Steven, like, you had a lot of hardships in life as well. Like, there were a lot of insecure moments as regards jobs and all. I mean, like, working in Washington, Seattle, and then coming to Austin. There were a lot of insecure moments. So how do you handle all these things?
Well, I guess we just try to work it out, work together, and try and come to the best solution. Because, you know, like when we ended up moving to Seattle from Olympia, where I finished school, because she had actually found a job and I couldn't find one. And then we just finally decided to move back to Austin because we just couldn't stand the weather in Seattle.
So, was that a really tough time for both of you?
It was hard, but I think Steve and I are both pretty good at having a sense of humor about life.
Exactly. And that is something that we should all learn. I mean, like, you know, like, take the best. I mean, that, as you say, let's make the best use of even the little things that we have.
Right, yeah, you really have to appreciate what's around you every day. Like, today's a beautiful day.
Exactly.
It was a hard day at work, but hey, if the day's over, it's beautiful. What more can you want in life?
That's a wonderful thought, and I think that is exactly the way you had worked for the Women's Cooperative, which played such an important role in your life. It was the Women's Cooperative in the University of Texas was the only single-sex cooperative system in the country. I mean, and I also know that the cooperative played such an important role in your life. Please tell us something about this, because our viewers, our listeners must know something.
Well, before that I had never really thought of living in women's housing. And once I got there, I discovered it was this really loving, supportive environment. And I had never thought of taking a leadership role. I'm a very outgoing person, but I had never thought of myself that way. But I felt comfortable with it once I was there, and it truly changed who I am as a person. I'm more comfortable with myself and with other people now.
So, I mean, were you disappointed when it's closed?
I was very disappointed. You met one of my friends yesterday, and when we're together, we don't talk about it because they start crying.
It's so painful.
It was a really important time in all of our lives because it helped us become adults and helped us become adult women, confident in ourselves, and to have the university shut it down so other women can't have that experience, it was hard.
But that's the way life is. I mean, like, you know, it takes away something, but it gives you much more. It made you a stronger woman today.
And it was bad for us, but the university opened freshman housing, so I guess those freshmen of both genders are now having experiences.
And Stephen, you have been a volunteer for the Alliance for Lupus Research along with Jennifer. What is interesting is that many people, including me, don't know a lot about lupus. Would you please tell us something about this disease and what you are doing, what both of you are doing, which is, I really appreciate that, whatever you're doing for this disease.
Well, lupus is an autoimmune disorder. Basically, it means the body is attacking itself. And it can affect not just joints, the kidneys, the brain, and it can affect just all kinds of organs and all kinds of systems in the body when it gets really bad. And the Alliance for Lupus Research is dedicated to raising money for research. Every single penny they earn goes to research because the board of directors pays all the costs out of their own pocket for running it. So we think it's a very worthwhile thing.
And I just want to appreciate you for the wonderful role that you are playing. You have also organized a wonderful walk on this next to next Saturday. Can you tell us something about that so that even our listeners could join you?
It's the Alliance for Lupus Research Walk with Us to Cure Lupus, and it's on Saturday, April 19th at Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. And it's our third year of doing it here in Austin, and it's a fabulous walk. There are a lot of friendly people, families. It's just great fun. We're going to have face painting and henna tattoos, lots of food, a DJ, and last year the park was full of bluebonnets.
Oh, really?
So it's a beautiful
And you love
too.
bluebonnets.
I love bluebonnets. We had our team photo taken in a field of bluebonnets.
Steve and Jennifer, it has been wonderful talking to you both, but to make things all the more exciting for our listeners, we have an interesting segment called Fast Track on the Memory Lane. In this segment, we ask you some really quick questions about your childhood, and you have to answer them, even more faster than me, okay? So, are you ready for it?
Sure.
Okay, Jennifer first.
Yeah.
Okay? On your mark, set, shoot. Okay, your best friend in school was?
Amanda.
Okay, your favorite food as a child was?
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay, it still is?
Oh, I love grilled cheese sandwiches.
I know that. And what happened when your uncle asked you to stop eating them?
I got really upset. I cried and asked if I could eat them anyway.
Okay, your biggest fear as a child was?
Spiders.
It still is?
Yes.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue bonnet.
Yes.
Okay, one habit that nobody knows about, one bad or good habit about you that nobody knows.
I used to walk in my sleep.
You still do?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Steve, do I?
I know.
Okay, who is a better cook? You, your father, or Steve?
Steve, definitely.
Okay. And what is your favorite song?
Oh, Lovers in a Dangerous Time, the Bare Naked Ladies version.
Okay, can you sing it for us?
Oh God, no.
Anyway, Steven, it's for you. Your favorite sports?
Fencing.
Okay. Your favorite cartoon character?
Tom and Jerry, actually, 2 of them.
Okay. And your best dessert?
Ice cream. Amy's ice cream.
Okay. Any particular brand?
Amy's ice cream.
Okay. Your most treasured toy? Okay.
Legos.
Okay. Your best actor?
Rachel Weisz.
Okay.
He has a crush on her.
The naughtiest thing that you've ever done in life?
I broke into a golf course and took a golf cart for a spin.
Okay, that was wonderful, Stephen and Jennifer. Like, it was great fun. You answered them really well, and that was wonderful. Thank you so much for this wonderful rapid fire answering session, and you did it really well. And I want to thank you both for coming to my show and making our listeners feel so happy about your wonderful childhood. Well, I have a little token for both of you.
Aww.
It's a little toy for both of you.
Thank you.
And I hope that this is also blue as a blue bonnet. Yeah. And I hope that as long as you see this toy, you are going to remember those wonderful moments of your childhood and this wonderful time with us in Nostalgic with Sadiq in the KVRX studio. But before you go, I would just like to ask you, is there any special message that you want to give your wonderful listeners? Jennifer?
Just enjoy every day. Every day's a gift.
Okay. And Steve, anything else?
I think she's
Okay. Now, both Jennifer and Steve, would you like to say something to each other which you have never said? Maybe today was that special day when you want to say something, thank you or something to Steve.
Thank you for coming on the show and for being such a great husband.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve and Jennifer, for coming to my show and making this show such a wonderful experience for both of us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Nostalgic with Sadiq on KVRX 91.7 FM. This is DJ Sadiq signing off with Darren on the music. Thank you so much. Stay tuned and stay nostalgic.